My name is Jensen. Let's learn some UiPath. Today we will solve a real life case a friend of mine gave me. As with almost all of the UiPath cases, remember I say almost, it's about getting a good idea. If you got this good idea, you will be able to solve the case easily. How do we get those good ideas? Well, the only thing you need to is that you need to seen it before. So that's why I will be encouraging you to do this yourself in UiPath with me. Just pause the video, it's designed for that. Start it again and rewind a bit if I'm talking too fast. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That will help me a lot. So today's topic will be Excel, how to work with color-coded Excel cells, how to update Excel based on that color information, how to type and search at the web, and as well as creating some logic based on the good idea. So that's the case. Let's look at the data. The data is here. We got a sheet with 5 columns: kommune, adresse, ejendomsnummer, matrikelnummer, and ejerlav. In case you're wondering what language this is Danish. So in the 2 columns, the first columns, the kommune and adresse, that's municipality and address. We got some different names here, and we got some different addresses. We want to update those corresponding columns, but only based on the color code here in Excel. So this one is blue. We only want to update this blue column. This one is red, white red. We only want to update this column. And this one is green. We only want to update the green one. So that's the logic. Where should we find the info? We will find the info at ois.dk. We can go there. So first we can just write the kommune Svendborg, the municipality Svendborg, and the address Fruerstuevej 12. So let's write out Svendborg. Then we can see that there's a suggestion here. So the robot needs to click here. And then we will type in Fruerstuevej 12. And then click the search. And so if it's a blue one, which this is, then we need to get the ejerlav and update this column. The ejerlav, that's here. So we need to get this information and type it in here. The white and red we get from matrikelnummer, we got it here. And then finally the ejendomsnummer, that's the green one, we get here. We want to create the robot so it doesn't have Excel open, or it doesn't open Excel, because then if Excel is opening or closing, that's just lowering the robustness of our robot. So we will just be performing the actions in the background and then just updating it without anyone noticing it, and as well as having any processes that can interfere with the Excel process. So now I talk too much. Let's go to UiPath and solve the case. First, we want to get the good idea. We want to see how we can get the color code from Excel without having Excel open and just reading it in Excel. So we want to search in the activities, we want to search for Excel application scope. That is here. Drag it in like this. And so this Excel application scope, that's the scope you need to put in whenever you will be doing some Excel activities. You cannot do all of these Excel activities without the application scopes. And the activities will go here into do. So first we need the workbook path. Where did you put your data? I put mine on the desktop. So let's go to desktop and click the municipality case. Like this. We can see here that we got a bunch of settings. We can choose the visible. That's good if we want to have Excel open and see the robot performing the actions. However, we won't, so we will just unmark it. It's good if we want to search for errors. And I want to say that I can make some errors in this case as well, because this is just recorded on the fly. So the errors I will fix while we get to them, because that's a normal process of developing in UiPath. And it's a great skill to have to solve the errors you'll be making. So this Excel application scope is on. Then we can choose a read range, because we want to read the Excel sheet. Here we want to, let me get the data, the data is in sheet 1, and we want to output it to a data table. So Control K here, DT, data, just call it DT. That's fine. Then we can, so now we read it and we can see that we added the headers. That's good because we got some headers in our Excel sheet. So now we can talk about how we get the color of the cell. There is an Excel activity is called get cell color. That's fine. Drag that in. Say that we want to get the Excel color of cell A2. That's here. That will want to be blue, but however, it's not blue. So if you just use the value blue, then there will be a lot of blues. So this one got an unique number, and another kind of blue got a nut number. So here we will choose the A2, that was the cell we want to get the color from. Then the output, we create a new variable up here, Control K. Then we can call it cell color. So we store the value of this color in a variable. You can see here that it's a color variable. Then we print it out. We can just use a write line here. And what we'll be doing is that we will just print out the color. Oh, this was the cell color here. Cell color to string, like this. Then we can try to run it. We need to close the data down. So I will be using this color, the color codes here. So I will open up a text document. Let me just find here. Just let me write in directly in the case. So we got a blue. We need a color code for blue. We need a color code for white, and we need a color code for green. Like this. Like this. First, we will get a color code for blue. Let's see how that works. That'll A2, and then the white A3, and then the green A4. Let's try to run the robot. The robot is running now. And down here in output, we can see that this color, that is the blue color code. So this is the information that's stored in the cell color variable. So, and when we convert it to a string. So let's go here, copy it, right click, copy, then go to our document, and then we can just, let me store this here. That's the blue one. Maybe we should make another space here and another space here. So this one corresponds to the blue. Then we want to get the white color, that's the A3. So you just do this, then we can try to run it. It runs, and then again we go down to output, and we can see here that it says color white. That's because that was a standard color. However, we couldn't know, so we just type in the color here. That's the color white. We need to find the color code for green. Maybe that's a standard one. It doesn't look like a standard one, but it could be. And the information that's stored here, so if we change just one number here, that will be a whole different color and we can't use it. So we need to find the exact color as we do here. That's, yeah, that was this one, copy. You can see the format looks like the blue one, however the numbers are changed. So now we got the colors, let me just save it. Then we can delete this write line because we don't need the colors anymore. What we will need is that we need to open up a browser because we need to navigate to OIS. Let me go back here, and we need to navigate to this OIS. So we will just be copy this address, and then we will open up browser. Here we will drag this one in, the URL quotation marks, and then paste the URL in. And now we can do some operations here in this browser. So first we want to iterate. Let me open the data again. Maybe I should just do this. Open up the data again. We want to iterate through each of the row of our data. And now we got it in a data table. However, this is the corresponding data. So we want to iterate. It starts here and go this, 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 this. So what we'll need here is that we need a for each row. Then for each row, and then we got the data. Remember, we loaded it in here in the read range. So let's do DT. That was our data table. Maybe we should actually be doing a DT data like this, just update it here in the variables, because that will, that's probably better. Then we got this. I think I always delete this one because UiPath will create a lot of sequences, and if you don't delete them or do anything with them, it will just fill up the entire thing. Then first, so now it goes through each of these rows. So we need to get first, whenever entering a row here in the data table, remember that's the data table, that's not the Excel sheet. Then we want to go over to Excel and get the corresponding color. How do we do that? Well, we can start by getting the cell color. We got the cell color activity here. Let me drag it up here. However, this one will just get a static color. We need to have it changed, and we need to start with it from A2 like this. However, this one is changing. Then there's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an index counter. We've seen that before, didn't we? So let's create an index counter with the start value of 2. Let's let me delete this one. So it is A. That's good. And then we need to click plus. Then we click Control K. We'll be creating an int index. That'll be our index counter, like this. And then the start value of this int index, that'll be 2. So, but we'll need to convert it to a string again. Let me. The good thing is that we to string like this. We can open it up here, and we can see that we actually. So now it says A, and then this number to it. So it will be, if this one is, if index is 2, then it will be A2. So let's go down to the variables and change the default value of index. We will change that to 2, and I think we will. And we need to change the variable type to an integer, like this, because it's an integer. We will the scopes. We will let me just this one will change the main sequence. Call that main. It's always good practice to change the names. We won't change the names of the activities today. However, we can go here in our variables. Let me get in here, and we will change the scope just to the main. So that one will be the easiest thing. So because we might be passing variables in and out, not of the main, but inside the main. So here we get the cell color from A2, because this one is A2. But next time we want to have it here, so that one will be here, 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 here. Well, how do we do that? Well, just make an at the end of the for each row, we will just need an assign. Let me drag that one in, and this one should go into the end of their for each row. Now you can see UiPath created a sequence. That's just it's so horrible. I think you should. It's quite. You could, of course, you could just cut these out, delete the sequence, paste them in. But yeah. So this one is int index, and int index equals int index plus 1. So this one will just count 1 up, and you can see that next time it comes here, that's the for each row. That'll be here. Then the int index value will be 2 plus 1. That's 3. So this one will take A3 as it should. And so now we get the cell color. So what do we do now? We need to get some information. So we got the cell color stored here as the cell color. So now we just want to type in the information thing. So now I think we should move it a little bit around. We are here now, and we want to type in some information. Still, we are still here in this for each row. So in the middle of get cell color and assign, we will find a type into like this. Drag it over here. We will indicate it. That's first we need to type into kommune. You remember that? That was this data, and then the adresse, this one. So what do we want to type in? Well, we need to type in whatever is in the right row in this kommune column. So if we're here at Svendborg, we want to type in København, Helsingør, Odense, Aarhus. So how do we do that? Well, that's easy. You've seen that a lot of times before. I think this is one of the most used operation you can use, because we will use data tables a lot and we will iterate through them a lot. So you better be learning this one, because that's probably one of the most important thing as a developer. So here we choose Kommune. You could also have, instead of this quotation marks Kommune, you can just put in 0 for the first column. Remember, it's 0 indexed. So, and then we will to string like this. So now we are typing this one in there here, and we can check the selector. That's always a good thing, to edit the selector to see if there's something that could change. However, here is not, is good. That's the Kommune and input. So that's good. So remember, when we type something in, we wanted it to click here. So let's do that. Let's make a click. So because we cannot type in, we need to have this suggestion clicked. So let me choose click here, drag it in. Now we need to indicate something here. And how do we do that? Well, we can use the F2. That's the delay of 3 seconds. You can see it here. It's delaying. You cannot see it, but it's counting down outside the window, 3 seconds. So click F2, then we will write, and you can see it comes here. And then whenever now it's ready, we click here, Svendborg Kommune, and so that's how we target this suggestion. Let's move this, open this one up to see if there's something unique in it, and we need to change it to a dynamic. I think this UI idea, that's 23, that's the Svendborg. So if we change this one to 22, it will be some other city. That's not ideal, so we need to just click whatever comes up when we type in, and then hope that the Kommune name is unique, which it is in Denmark. So this one is good. We created a dynamic selector by just changing it to an asterisk. Click OK. So now we need to type in the address. That'll be another type into here. Drag it over here, and we will indicate this address here. So how do we get that? That's just a row item and then adresse. Row item adresse like this, and then to string. And again, if I'm making some errors here, we will just fix them on the fly. So if you see anything, just I think he will show me how to solve them later on. I don't think there's any mistakes yet, but there could be. And then we want to click Sø. So drag the click in, indicate the Sø. So now it will search. So let's try to do that. Svendborg Kommune. Oh, sorry, we didn't click the suggestion. Now we did. And then the address, we will just copy this one. And then we will type it in here. Well, we couldn't. Then we will type it in manually. Forstue by 12. Sorry, that was Danish. Now we need to see what information we got and how we can change the corresponding cells. So we need to have a case like if the cell is blue, then we need the IAllow information and type it in here. If the cell is white, then we need to type it in here and get the matrikelnummer. And finally, if it's green, we need the ejendomsnummer and type it in here. So that's like 3 ifs. That's a lot. We can use a switch for that. That's always nice if you got more than 2 possibilities. So drag in a switch here. The case is that we wanna ask what color do we got here. So we got the color, cell color. That was it. Then to string, and you remember that we got the colors. We store them in here. So if this one is blue. Let me just get the blue one here, and then we can you should always make a default case. That's always good practice. We won't be making it today, but that could just be that it couldn't find any color or something, like a log message or something. So add a new case, and then you can see here that we got the blue color case value. Then it says it's not a value for an int 32. That's because this one is a string. So change it up here in type argument. Let me just delete this one. I think it's the most easy thing. Change this to a string. That's the whole switch, and then we can add the case like we did before, the blue one. And then we can make an activity. What do we want to get? First, we want to get the text. The blue one was the I allow. So this one, we need to get this thing here. And how do we do that? Well, we use get text, if that works. Otherwise, we need to data scrape or something. However, I think, or actually I know I tried this before. We need to get this text, and then we need to I allow. That's the indicated, and then let me just so it's not marked. Then we will indicate it here. Whatever in here, we will get this value. Let me edit the selector just to see that it's nothing that says Svenborg or something. It doesn't. This one is good, I think. There's a table column and a table row. That looks fine. And then we need to store this this value. We need to store that into a variable. We'll just Control K, and then we can str. We can just call it I allow, because that's its name, and we will set the scope to main again. Then we need to, so now we know we got this information. We need to put it into, let's go over here, Excel sheet. We need to put it in here. So we know we're here, we know we're in the blue one, and we know so whenever we're here, we know we want to update the I allow column. So then we just find a right cell here, the Excel one, and then drag it under. So now we can update the cell in sheet 1, and the value that will be the str I allow we just found. And what cell should we update? Well, right now we should update E2. However, this one will change dynamically. But remember, we made this counter, so we know where we are. This one is just a 2. So we'll be making it like we did before. So, oh, sorry, this one, E2, sorry. And so what we'll be doing is that we'll just do this, and then we will, like we did before, then we will make a plus. Then we will be doing the index like this to string. Because now, in the first run, then it's 2, that's good, that's here. Then it's 3, 4, 5, and so on. So this one is the way we want to solve it. So now we solved the case for the blue ones. Then we just need the white ones and the green ones. So let's add a new case. What's here? Well, let me get the next color. We stored it here. Remember that was nice that we stored the color codes here in the document. So we will, the new case, that's here. That one was the white. And we need to do something with the white one as well. We just need the same thing, the get text and here. So we could copy it. However, I think it's nice to do it again so you get used to it. Remember to have your UiPath open. So get text, drag it in. Now the white one, that will be matrikelnummer we need to get. That will be this one, 71H. We'll indicate it. Now I think my UiPath is a bit slow now. However, I'm not sure why it's slow. So let me just pause the video, and or maybe it's actually, no, we will indicate it on screen again. Now it works. So this one was the matrikelnummer here. That was the white one, right? Here. So again, we can click in the selector, and we can see that it works. Then we will be updating the matrikelnummer column like we did up here, where we updated the I allow column. So here we will be using a right cell again. We can just drag it in from recent, or you can find it again. So drag it in here. Now you can see it's beginning to, we're having a lot of sequences, but that should work. So we want to, in this case, white, we want to update sheet 1, that's fine. However, we want to update the matrikelnummer, that's D. So we will change this one to D, and as before, D. Then we make a plus, and then the index to string, like this. So now this one will be the D column that we are updating. What will we be updating it with? We need to create a value from here in the output that where to get the text. So like we did up here. So let me we're here, and so this one is sheet 1, and we need to create a variable up here in the output. So that's Control K, str matrikel number. I think we will just call it that, and we will set it as main. And those two are strings. It will work with generic values. Always nice to just have the right variable types. So here we will be updating the str matrikel number. That's this one. And then for the final case, that's the green case, we will add a new case, and then we will go to our Word document, copy the color like this. Now add a new case, that's the green case. And here again we need to get text. The green one, that's Ejendomsnummer, that's this number. Like this. We want to store it into a variable, so str Ejendomsnummer, like this, and again you can change it to a string and in the main, like this. And we want to write a cell, so we want to write the C column. So write cell. So I think now you tried it a couple of times, you are getting used to it. Oh, sorry, str. And was it Ejendomsnummer? Yep, here. And that was the C column. So again, we delete this, and then we just add the number in which row we in. So int index to string, like this. So I think what we only need now we created it. Now it will read it will go to the web page. It will read the information, and we got the color code. So then we will write it into the corresponding column, and we just need to refresh the browser every time we it will be, so whenever we transacted one case, then we need to be updating the browser so it can search again. So we will so in this, for each row in this sequence, we will just make a refresh browser in the end. And we could actually, it could be nice to have done this in the Re framework, because then we could add transactions, then we could get the queue. It will be more easy to, if one of the things didn't work or anything, that would be nice. However, this is is a great solution, but I think the other one could be great. This one is just refreshing our browser, so whenever we go to the next row, it will just be refreshing it, so we can search it here. I think this one should work, and let me close this one down. Now we got no data in it, and we want to have the corresponding data updated. So let me close this one, and we can also close the browser if we wanted. Let's see if let's see how this one runs. We will. I'm not sure if the browser opens up. Sometimes it opens up outside the video. Now the UiPath robot will run. It will. Oh, it opened up in the browser almost. So now it opened up OIS, Svendborg, clicks, Untitled, and then to get the data and refresh. So you can see it runs quite fast. We could make an input validation here. We should always do. I made a video about it. I will link to it in the description, because this one is typing really fast. It could type too fast. You might see it, or you might not. And and then we could have the robot. We haven't had any try-catch over this, so we could have a problem if it typed too fast. Now it did everything. Now we just need to minimize this and see if it updated the right cells. Let me open this one, and you can see here that we updated the right cells, Svendborg Markjord, Survey, some numbers here, and we updated it through each one of the rows based on the color code. So this is how you will solve a case. So you can see it's really not a, let me close this one down. It's really not a long sequence. I think there's maybe 12 steps. So you can solve this case in 12 steps It's just about getting the good idea. And again, you get the good idea about practicing it. You need to see other people doing it. You cannot, maybe you can figure it yourself out if you get real experience, but it's just about seeing other people do it, and then you can just copy it. It's no magic. Just remember that, no magic. And if you like this video, please subscribe. I'll be making much more cases, tutorials, and just fun stuff with RPA like I want to. So yeah, that's it for today. Have a good day. Bye bye.